Hey YouTube, welcome to another video. This is another one where I've got a little bit of a voiceover recording to start with, and then we'll transition to some actual videos that I recorded. Again, it was a bit of a mix up on the sound with this one. Anyway, we're getting very close. Well, by the time this is published, my app kernel's been live for a week or two at least, but there were some final changes that I needed to make, not necessarily to get the app working, but just to improve some things. So when I originally set up the backend, I required users to input a company or a company name. I felt that, given this is for an end user, not a company at the moment, that didn't make much sense, but I didn't really want to remove the field. So just adding some logic eventually where a user, basically if they don't put company name, well, the company name field will be removed from the front end. Just uses UUID to generate like a random ID that'll default to company name for the time being. In addition to that, I had to add a checkbox to agree to the terms and conditions for the application, and then check that the validation was also working. We did have a slight issue, if I'm remembering correctly, where Claude and both ChatGPT were trying to use the isLoading flag, whereas with sorry, not flag, like prop, with Tanstack query, it's now is pending. I can't remember if that's in this piece of code here, but we will soon find out. And I think also at the moment I just have another slight issue with cause and our allowed origin. So just fixing that up with render so that we can access it in production. Maybe there was a slight issue there. But this goes for a little while. So yeah, just adding in that agreed terms, getting rid of the requirement for company name having certain validation requirements, but the field will kind of still exist there behind the scenes, but just be generated with UUID, which is what I'm installing now. But yeah, the user won't really know any of that. Yeah, and I think also once we'd made some of those changes, there was a slight issue where the user was being logged out rather than redirected to the dashboard if they created an account. So just go through that process. I believe it was an issue with the refresh token. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. As I said, this was kind of recorded a couple of weeks ago now, and I'm just trying to play catch up, get all these videos live so that I can share with you the final project, and also share with you some big updates that I've got coming for the channel and what I want to do next. So yeah, just finishing off this. And then, as I said, the video that follows this, there's a little bit of a focus on some performance updates, in particular with invalidating requests. Previously on the front end, we were making quite a lot of API calls every time things were changing, even though it might only be one note that was being added, so we don't need to reload all of the data. There was also some functionality calling notes and tags over and over again, so I start to fix that up very soon. Hey YouTube, how you going? Welcome to another video. In this video I'm working on some slight performance improvements. If you've been following along, you'll know that the application is essentially up and running live, and I've recently worked on the website. We've been deploying our application to render, and now I've basically got a staging environment and also then deploying it to a production environment. As part of that, doing some final testing, and notice that we do have a little bit of performance lag on a few things. One of the things that I noticed was when we create a new note, it was basically refetching, where is it? All of our notes, and I was just playing around by throttling it. So ideally we just want to fetch the new note. So just chucked it into Claude, said, hey, here's our current thing. It actually came back with a better response than I expected, because originally I was just asking it to only fetch the new note. But what it's actually doing is it's looking at it and going, okay, if we, where is it? We only invalidate tags and folder queries if they might have changed, which is a great idea. Same thing with source type. So that's going to hopefully be quite a bit more performant and save a lot of the refetching that was previously happening. So I'm just going to replace our use create note hook and save that. And then what we'll do is we'll come over here. Just wait for it to. It's still. What's happening? Let me check. Okay. So just let's restart. Let's just clear this for a second. Let's actually make sure we are throttled. So I just put it to 3G, and that's just so we can see how quickly it updates. Well, not how quickly it updates because it's being throttled, but just to see the loading state. So if we go create skip source and create a note, okay, that happened a lot quicker. I was trying to see that loading state. Let's try again. We are throttled as low as it allows. Okay, well, it's doing such a good job we're not really seeing the loading state there, which I think is okay, because before, when we weren't invalidating all of the tasks, you may have seen when I started the video, we had like this skeleton state for all of the notes. The good news is as well, we can see here in our requests that we're not making as many before. Previously we were making requests to get sources and stuff like that. I am just going to go back to no throttle, refresh this, and I wanted to check one other thing. So I don't know what all, I'm not exactly sure what all they are. Script. I just want to see, can we filter these? Yes. Yes, that's what I'm after. Okay, so we are still getting all sources when if I reload the dashboard, get all sources. I think we only really need this if we click on this tab. So if we go to our dashboard container, bring this over here, so we can see that we're fetching sources, and then we pass this into the dashboard layout, and then dashboard layout has our notes container and our, no, sorry, that's a create notes container, dashboard content passes it to, so it's quite convoluted, and then we've got notes and sources. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back over to Claude. We will go, might just keep it in this chat because it knows we're focused on optimization. Great, that works. Another area I have found is that currently when we load the dashboard, it is loading both the notes and the sources. However, how do I describe this dashboard container? We have our dashboard container. However, we only really need to call a GET request for the sources if the user clicks to change the layout or to change the view. We call active view. If the user clicks to change the active view to sources. What obviously it's probably going to recommend just only doing it or calling the data when it goes to that, but let's just give it those. I think that's all it should need, but let's just give it sources grid, and let's give it notes grid, display notes, just give it a container, that should be enough. Alright, so in the dashboard, so we don't have a dashboard.jsx, so it's referring to dashboard container. So fetch notes, data is loading, is fetching, tags, folders, page. Always fetch notes data when enabled true. Where is it picking up enabled from? Okay. So for use notes, set to true. How are we dating enabled? All right. Okay, so we're going to update our hook. Use notes. So enable to true. And then that, and then use sources. So use sources. Currently, we only have filters currently. So we'll just take this. Now in the dashboard, in our notes, so is loading, is fetching, use notes enabled, equals notes, equals sources. Right, handle view change, handler, sorry, we're going to do state here. So use state. Now we've already got that, and then handle page change, view change. So new view. We've already got non-view change. Save. Right, let's do the prefetch. Use effect. For the use effect, thought so. Okay. Gotcha, so it's separate. Not very clear, Claude. Not very clear at all. Alright, so put that in. Alright, so then let me just console log. Just want to make sure this is firing correctly. Use query client. Use. Right. So console just as a v4 query key. Yes. Alrighty. While it's doing that, clear that sources. Why is it console logging twice? Okay, let's figure that out. First check your use notes. Is an array. Is an array as well. There. Not really sure why that's happening. Query key needs to be an array. It is an array. Ah, I know where it might be. Not there. I reckon it's going to be I reckon it's the issue. We're burning through messages, which I'm not happy with. Done that already. this might be the issue. Save. No. Yeah, I'm going to remove the prefetch. Save. Let's refresh. Okay, yeah. Okay, yes, it is the cause. Why is one grayed out and one? Why is it getting it twice? Then also on the network tab, okay, yeah, on first page load, okay, that's fine. Let's try this. Copy. Save. Well, that's good to know. Maybe entirely redundant, thanks. Let's just see. No, okay. We're getting rid of that prefetch. Waste of time, and even Claude isn't sure if it's needed. That's that, but okay, so then okay, could be just a development only thing. Okay, so let's just clear this, refresh. Can you see during development? Sources, get all source types. Right. And if we click that, we need to fix up the scrollable there, that's fine. Okay, cool. So that seems to be working. Alright, what I might do then is, what will I do? I will gonna publish, commit this, and see if it's a little bit more performant on our staging environment. So git add. So we'll need to wait for that to deploy. So let me try and bring up that. kernel. It's deploying. Then, so what we're using for our staging environment is we're using a free tier of render. So there is some startup time associated with the server. And then what we're using is a paid version of MongoDB because I was already using the free tier for development. And then we do have it also deployed to production, which is obviously using a paid version of render and also a paid version of a MongoDB Atlas as well. So I do notice that this sometimes doesn't automatically update, so you do need to refresh. So we'll just wait for that, and then I will check out the production version. We might try and throttle creating a node and see if we can see that skeleton load up. But obviously the main thing we want to do is just make sure that use sources or get all sources isn't being called twice, because that should help with some of the performance that we were noticing. And also we had the invalidate query, so we only should refetch the brand new node created. Alright, still waiting here. Then after that, there's a few UI improvements. We saw obviously the issue with the scroll. I don't think that happened. Yeah, okay, it does happen even if we are on a full view. And didn't have the console open, so we just need to add a scrollable element, so I'll fix that up. But I probably will log a bunch of the UI issues that need fixing and then fix those in a separate video. I'll keep this one focused on just improving some performance enhancements. This is just some example notes that I was creating, and let's go to render again. Okay, it is deployed, did automatically do that, which is good. Alright, so I can bring over, we saw the skeleton loader there, which is cool. Alright, so let's just clear this. Let's go to sources. It's a little bit slow. And go to notes. Still gets the sources. It still is getting sources twice. Why is it getting sources twice? Sources, okay. Clear sources once, then clear again, notes. Okay, let's just I wonder development only. We've set the environment variable to staging. We'll probably have to test it on production. Okay, anyway, not that one. Alright, let's create a new note. So all tags off. So it does. It's doing a get request even before we search for folders. That's interesting too. This is a test note. Testing. Let's give it a folder just so. We'll call this test. All right. Next. Link to an existing source. Negotiation. Just going to clear this. All right, and create note. Something went wrong. Interesting. What went wrong? Can I read properties of filter? So it's going to be in the hook. Why didn't we? So first of all, alright, still saving. Where's that issue though? Actually, let's test it on, where are we? Cannot read property filter. Individual note card 29. I know why, because we do look for source type there. So I think in our hook, okay, back to our component. I think we still need to invalidate source type. All right, try this. I probably should have tested on local before. Okay, so copy. Let's just double check a couple of things. Come on, connect. Right, so let's go, let's call this no, new source. Then next, create new source, YouTube, create, nope, still gets the issue. Oh, hang on. refresh, try again. Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, so that all works. Should have tested out both use cases there before I pushed it. So we now do that. Add. Now we just need to wait for it to deploy again, and then we can test it on our front end. Sorry, our staging environment. Just want to make sure, obviously, that at least from a user experience point of view, that it looks a little bit more performant while it fetches that note. I know I didn't really record previously showing what it was like beforehand. It wasn't overly bad, but yeah, it could have been improved. Part of it obviously is for staging we're using the free tier on render, so there's always going to be a little bit more of a lag just because the server isn't as doesn't have as high CPU and memory utilization, and it also has that cold start issue, but that should only really happen on first load. Anyway, let's go to render. Let's go to dashboard. Wait for that. The other issue I did notice, but we can put this in the UI updates, is that network, new note, next. That create note buttons. Let's go 3G. This should change to creating note, and it's not. So while we do that, our create note button So our handle submit. Before I do that, what I might do is is loading. So is loading is undefined. Is loading is always undefined. It might be because of this. How's render going? Okay, it's deployed. Let's just finish off this quickly. All right, use create note hook. Use mutation. Create note on success. Data. Use mutation. Alright, try this quickly. Still off throttling. Nope. New. Next. Alright, turn on throttling. Clear that. I want to see the button. Is loading still undefined? Great note. All right, we'll look into that in a second more. Let's go to render. All right, let's refresh this. Right, network, no problem, good. Great note. I'm gonna add throttling. That was pretty quick. Couldn't even notice with the throttling. All right, so that's definitely a performance improvement over what was occurring beforehand. Let me just do that without throttling. Next. And create note. Awesome. So that is all working. Just looking at this. So still getting sources twice, but in terms of the user experience, that looks significantly better. So that's fantastic. All right, so I'm going to wrap the video here and then work on some of those UI improvements and also look into this use create note issue with the is loading state a little bit more, but I'll cover that in a separate video. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Hey YouTube, how you going? Welcome to another video. What we're going to be doing is working on a few UI enhancements and also some more optimizations. So we have the issue currently where you add a existing source to a new note, and it's taking a little bit of time because it's doing API calls for every single letter or character that you type. So we're going to add this debounce functionality, which is similar to what we added. We did add that for another aspect of the application already. So we did this for searching for tags and folders. So what we're going to do is we're going to import debounce. I'm going to put that into our create note container, which is where we do all of our API calls or from. Well, coordinate the calls we make. Obviously, we've then got our hooks. So we've got debounce, and then we're going to put this in our component. Where are we going to put this? Mutate, pending, and also change. We've got a lot of functionality. So copy this, put that here, and then in the input for search for existing source, I'm just going to copy that so I can find it easier. Sorry, this is in create note modal. Pass this down to create note modal. Right, so we need to go to create note modal and pass down then in our create note modal itself, we are going to that and then input. Right, so here one change. And then in our use sources hook, where are hooks? Use sources. Alright, so doing similar, enable the query if searches at least 2 characters. Okay, so search and then query. Right, and then what's this? Add better loading indicator while search is progressing. So it's going to be back in our modal, I believe. Modal. Where is it? Search is loading sources, search query. Copy that. Just thinking of this, we're also going to need this functionality for editing, but we might tackle that at a later point. I just want to get this working first. So use callback is not defined. We put that. Okay, so let's go console, network. We're still throttled, so no throttling. Next, link to existing source. So, still fired it off with a single. No, No, that doesn't work. It doesn't let me add another character. The debounce. So create new container. Search query input value. Right, and then debounce. And then handle search, and then pass both to the modal. Alright, so handle search, search query. Then in the modal itself, you should already have search query, yep, and then input search for search. Right, and then so get rid of the length. Alright, let's try that. Current page is not defined. Where is that coming from? Huh? Come on. Okay. So here we go again. Debounce. Set current page. Accidentally commented it out because I put it on different. Okay. Right. go to network tab. Alright, so if you do it slow, let's try and do it quick. Okay, so it is only searching once I finish typing, which is good. So I think that should help a little bit. Where is the... So the amount is 400 milliseconds. Out of interest, I'm just going to increase this by a huge amount, make it 4 seconds. I just want to check that it is functioning. So link existing source, 2, 3. Okay, yep, cool. Alright, so that is working. We'll take it back down to 400 though, obviously 400 milliseconds. We don't want to wait 4 seconds. So that's created. One of the things I've noticed is like with the notes, we've got this scroll within the note area, I guess, but we really need it on the outside, I think. So we might try and tackle that, which is going to be in our view individual note. Not note card, individual note modal. So we have our scroll area. Kind of want to wrap it. I think if I can just do that. No. Okay. Why didn't I like that? So scroll area. Let's copy this. Header. I was just trying to shift it above tabs, and then it obviously wasn't happy with the order of things, so it's quicker to do it with this. Well, there's one way. That's what I did. So yeah, we move scroll area to above tabs. Tabs. Tab list, tabs. Yeah. Then tabs, content, tabs. Ah, my mistake. I think I put it before, just before tabs, content. Tabs. Why does it still not like that? So scroll area. So we've got it twice. Okay. Better. But I did notice that, for example, we had this scroll area. We accomplished this a little bit better. Where did we do this? Height. What was it? It was minus 100 pixels. We had a scroll area defined somewhere in the app where we calculated the view height as, there it is. Okay, so the best way of tackling this is to say grade 1 scroll area flex growth. Yeah, we do that now. Let's try this. I didn't really just want to add padding. No, I don't want to add padding because I added it there. That's what I'm thinking of. All right. I think, yeah, okay, that looks like it might be an issue. Let's just try removing that. No, that made it worse. All right, so tab content. What was done? You can see that you let the flex layout. Flex call, overflow, hidden flex. Yeah, that's what done. But on the no fixed inner height. overflow hidden. Scroll area. Use this flex scroll. That's correct. Saying still haven't done it right, so gosh, just give me the code. This seems way too convoluted to do that. Okay, sorry about that. Let's continue. I forgot to give it a component. Let's try this. Even though I didn't tell it what components, I'll figure it out. This might be good. Right. No. So let me in. So actually we'd need I think we need to set this, but instead of on tab content, we'd set that on dialog content. does it not show up? So please div scroll, then right. Nope. How is this so difficult? Frustrating. I don't get it. Don't want to add padding. Okay, that worked. Don't want that padding though. Just can't quite get to the bottom. Oh my god. So we probably need to take the, I know what we can do. We can take the where's the footer? Category. Folder. Okay, so let's say take the scroll area. I forgot to get rid of that previous div. That was probably the issue. Let's get rid of that. Right. Scroll area. That's what I did do. Where's it gone now? Oh my goodness. Let's check this. Tab. And then no. Honestly, how hard can it be? There is space for it to appear. I don't get it. goodness, I know they're all fine. I think this is probably related to the scroll stuff. Oh my goodness. Viewport. Yeah, we don't have. Hmm. So weird. Last try. That's what I want to achieve. I want the more it's like the outer div doesn't have a fixed height. That's doing it, but it's not the Shadsian. get it. Finally, is that it? Happy days. Okay, we just got to get rid of this padding. Oh my goodness. That is exactly what I was after this whole time. Unbelievable. Probably need to push the make sure these are pushed to the bottom. Tags. So I always forget how to do this in this component. Just make sure you haven't broke anything. What am I missing? It's not really what I wanted. One problem after another. Alrighty, I am going to wrap it here. Obviously, I don't want it to appear just like this. The scroll bar is working. That's as intended. This one doesn't have related notes. This one does. You can see the dates getting cut off there. Alright, so I have to figure that out, but I'm going to stop there and yeah, we'll append the rest later on.